Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my performance review of the Li Ning CJ1. So this is CJ McCollum's first signature shoe with Li Ning. It's going for 160 bucks. It's actually available on Amazon. So if you guys want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. But let's get it started right away with the tracciones. And as far as the traction goes, it has a very good stop on a clean court. Like I had no issues. Very fun to play in. I felt very quick, and you know, when I needed to do a move like a crossover, step back, whatever, doing a cut, this traction pattern was very reliable, even though the traction pattern is kind of weird, right? We have like a snowflake in the middle of the forefoot, and then it kind of circles out into some weird patterns, but you know, the pattern really doesn't matter. It's mostly the rubber compound, and the rubber compound is very good on a clean court. On a dusty court, however, it didn't fare that well. It wasn't terrible, but also wasn't great. When I was playing on a dirty court, I definitely had to wipe a good amount. It is a pretty easy wipe though. You know, I just go like this, like that a couple of times, pretty lightly, and it was good to go for a couple of stops. And then after that, it picked up dust again pretty quickly. So if you're playing on a dusty or dirty court, just keep in mind you're gonna have to wipe a good amount. But if you're used to it, you should be fine. And also, it's not super dangerous to where, you know, if you let a whole bunch of dust build up here, you're gonna slide out and pull something. It's not dangerous like that. It just the bite isn't as good. So the performance on dust, I would say, is pretty good. And then for durability, I feel like will be okay. You know, Li Ning and like I guess Chinese companies in general make very durable outsoles. Just from this shoe, when you look at it, the grooves look very thin, but when you kind of like press it with your fingers, the rubber is pretty damn hard. It doesn't move that easily, and also the grooves are deep. So I feel like durability should be good if you're playing on an outdoor court. Indoor court, you're fine. There's actually some shoes where the durability on indoor court is also bad, so which is pretty sad. But anyways, the outsole on this shoe is pretty damn good. Just watch out on dust, you're gonna need a wipe. Alright, moving on to the heel to toe transition is pretty damn smooth. Here in the heel, look at that, very nice curved shape, and it's a fully exposed midsole. So there is good compression here in the heel. It doesn't feel clunky or anything. And then here in the forefoot, look at that, super nice curved shape, and we have a good amount of forefoot flex. So a heel to toe transition when you're doing heel dominant strides, running down the court, it's super smooth. And also we have a carbon fiber midfoot shank plate. You know, it's $160, so that's a nice premium touch to the shoe. It looks cool in this colorway as well. It's like a silver color. All right, moving on to the cushioning setup, we got full length light foam, and light foam is all right. You know, I would say it's a softer Phylon. There's not a whole lot of bounce to it, maybe just a tiny bit of rebound back here in the heel. I feel like there's a little rebound back just because it's pretty damn thick here in the heel, and then in the forefoot is pretty dead. There is good compression though, just a little bit. It just feels more like soft, you know, so it just kind of like absorbs impact and that's it. It doesn't really spring back into like a bounce. It's more just boom, compression, soft, good impact protection, and that's it, which isn't a bad thing, but you know, I like to have a little bit of bounce from my foam. Impact protection, like I said, is good, especially on heel strikes. One thing that I didn't like about the cushioning setup all too much though is the court feel. I mean, it wasn't terrible like LeBron's, but also it wasn't great like you're super low to the ground like the Trae Young one or Harden's or something like that. So again, that is something that is sacrificed for better impact protection, and I feel like if you don't mind that, then you should be fine. But if you want really good court feel, this shoe is not the best. There is a little bit of an offset as well. The heel is pretty high up off the ground. The forefoot feels a little bit lower, just like any running shoe or basketball shoe. And also for the insole, we have a heel crash band, which felt very nice for the first like 2 days, I would say, and then it bottomed out pretty quickly after that. As far as the stepping comfort goes, I would say it's pretty nice, especially in the heel. Is very nice at first. Like I said, it bottomed out. Now it's okay, and then you can't really feel the light foam all too much underneath your foot because of that stiffer strobo board. So the cushioning setup overall, I would say, is pretty nice. Good impact protection, good compression and responsiveness, but it lacks court feel and bounce. Alright, moving on to the material. So we have a very nice textile material. It reminds me a lot of the Li Ning Yushui 13 Premium. It actually looks pretty much the same. Look at that. Like if you look at the pattern and all that, it looks very similar with these strands over the top of this material, right? So this knit material is very nice. It feels really premium in hand and also on foot. It breaks in super nicely. It feels nice and cozy, super comfortable. It conforms to your foot extremely well. It's not like super thin, but it's not thick either. I would say somewhere in between. You know, like something super thin would be like the Jordan 36 or the Puma Clyde All Pro, and something very thick would be like the Cosmic Unity. I would say this material, as far as thickness goes, is like somewhere in between that. As far as the tongue goes, I mean, the tongue material isn't the best for quality. You know, it's like a really cheap feeling like felt, but there is nice padding here on top of the tongue. And then here in the ankle area, we have very minimal padding, but on the sides, we got like ankle pillows, I would say. It kind of like goes on the ankle bone, which feels nice. And then here in the back of the heel, we have an Achilles pad, which feels great as well. So this overall upper feels very premium and also super cozy with the extra padding and I guess like the slightly thicker materials. So it feels great on foot. All right, moving on to the fit, I went true to size and it fits me extremely well. My toes pretty much go right to the edge of the shoe. So if you don't like that, then I would suggest going up half a size. I didn't really have any problems with, you know, when I was like stopping going forward like this. My toes didn't really bang in the front of the shoe, so I was okay with the length. It felt very nice. For the width, it's slightly narrow. You can definitely feel this plastic piece on the side of your foot a little bit, especially at first, but it breaks in, and I didn't really notice it after like a couple of days of playing in it. And then here for the toe box, it's not super snug, you know, like the KDs or like the Kyries. I can definitely curl my toes a tiny bit. Like there's just a tiny bit of dead space here on top of my toes, but it's still a nice, pretty snug fit overall here in the toe box for me. So I like the overall fit, super easy to put on as well. And of course here in the midfoot, I didn't really have any issues with the fit either. So the fit for me was really good. If you have a thick foot or a wide foot, you should probably go up half a size or maybe even a full size because this shoe runs pretty damn snug. All right, moving on to the support and lockdown. For lateral containment, as you guys can see, this shoe has no issues with that. So here in the forefoot, we got this, this is actually plastic, you know, and then here the rubber outsole comes up a good amount. The Keiju here in the forefoot. And then starting from the midfoot a little bit and also coming up here into the heel, we have the foam acting as a sidewall for lateral containment and an internal TPU heel counter. So lateral containment, I was good to go. Your foot is not gonna move anywhere. And I feel like whatever weight you are, if you're a heavy dude and you do very shifty moves, you should be fine. Your foot is gonna stay inside of the footbed. As far as lateral stability goes, I also had no issues. It doesn't have a crazy outrigger, but you know, it does extend out here a little bit, and it is a wide base, so I had no issues with lateral instability. And also for ankle support, I was good. This shoe has pretty good ankle support. I wouldn't say it restricted my ankle movement all too much. Coming from a guy that actually likes to play in low tops better than high tops, I didn't really mind playing in the CJ1 because it didn't restrict my ankle movement that much, but also ankle support felt pretty good, and I felt like safe and secure when I was playing it. I didn't really have to worry about like rolling my ankle or anything. So if you're looking for a shoe with pretty good ankle protection, this is a great option. If you want something that really restricts ankle movement, you know, kind of like the Ushuai 13 Premium, then this is not the best option. All right, as far as the weight of the shoe goes, if I remember correctly, it's kind of heavy. Yeah, so 13.65 ounces. That's an ounce heavier than average. The average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces. 13.6 definitely isn't super heavy. And the left pair is 14 ounces. Oh yeah, there's that crazy weight difference for some. That's weird. That's a 0.3, 0.4 ounce difference from the left to the right pair, which is, it's a pretty big difference. But anyways, like 13.6 to like 14 ounces, just average it to like, I don't know, 13.7, 13.8 ounces. That's not super heavy, but also that's not super light. But how does it feel on foot? I definitely wouldn't say it feels super minimal, but also doesn't feel like super bulky. You know, there's not a crazy padding. The foam doesn't protrude out like crazy or anything. I guess a little bit here in the heel, but that's not a huge deal. So if you want a very light and minimal shoe, like the Giannis Immortality or like the Puma Clyde All Pro, then this is not the shoe for you. But one thing that this shoe does really, really well is that it feels extremely comfortable, very cozy when you're playing it. And also it's a very responsive shoe. Like I said, the traction was really good. The traction on dust was also pretty good, you know, as long as you wiped. A cushion was very responsive. The foam wasn't too soft or laggy or anything. The fit was great for me personally, and my foot wasn't moving around inside of the shoe at all. So when I was playing it, I felt very, very fast, very responsive. But like I said, it's just not a crazy light or minimal feeling shoe. All right, as far as the ventilation goes, not good at all. You know, like I said, this knit material is on the thicker side of things. There's not a whole lot of airflow through this upper either, so your feet are gonna be pretty warm in this shoe. As far as the aesthetics go, I love it, especially this colorway. This white and red colorway is super sick. And the overall silhouette looks great. You know, Li Ning has been doing a great job on their designs, I feel like, in my opinion. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, I really enjoyed playing it. You know, 160 bucks is definitely pretty damn expensive. That's actually premium pricing, I would say. Like over 160 or 170 bucks is like top tier pricing, right? But you're getting top tier tech, like the material feels great. I guess light foam isn't the best foam that Li Ning has to offer. I would say the best foam that they have to offer is probably Boom. But anyways, this shoe is like 200 bucks and the Wow 9 and the Wow 9 Infinity is like 250. So I guess this isn't even premium pricing. You know, 160 isn't premium pricing for Li Ning. Either way, it's a great performer. I really enjoyed playing in it, and it'll definitely be in my shoe rotation loosely. The only thing that like kind of bothered me is I guess the weight. You know, it's not a super minimal or very lightweight shoe, which in my opinion is pretty important to me. Like I like shoes like the Puma Clyde All Pro, Giannis Immortality, the Curry 8, the Jordan 36 and stuff like that. So this shoe definitely feels different than those shoes, but still it's very nice, very premium, cozy, comfortable and all that. And I feel like most positions and most play styles would definitely enjoy playing in this shoe. You know, if you're a guard and you want something very responsive but also comfortable, you should be fine. If you're a big dude, you want some cushion and you want a shoe that's super supportive and also comfortable, then you should also be fine in this shoe. But anyways, that about concludes my review of the CJ1. If you guys want to cop, again, I'll leave a link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.